Good morning and welcome to another edition of Walking Digital Corridors. I am your co-host, the bearded sales guy. Today's topic is AI in complex B2B sales. And so we're going to talk about this topic maybe through a couple of lenses we touched on last week, but I'll come back to that. Before I do, who have we got on the call today? Surprise, surprise.
I'm Jordan Abbott, also known as the Sales Poet. Really looking forward to this session. It feels a little bit dark in this office, but the reason being is I've got the shutters down because it is such a glorious spring day that
Nice.
one makes it unbearable with the glare. So yeah.
Nice. We same here. So same here in Leighton Buzzard, Bedfordshire. You're about what, 800 miles south of us here?
I wouldn't quite say.
As the crow flies?
800 miles. No, I'd say about 500, but it's sort of I'm southeast, so it's not directly down.
Okay. In the land of
France.
France?
France.
So you're going to say something exotic, like
Versailles.
Yeah.
in the land of romance,
Yeah.
onions and berets. Yeah.
Well, in not too far from Paris, a city that the French are absolutely manically trying to get ready for the Olympics, but in all honesty, it's just breaking. The windmill from the Moulin Rouge fell off last night. The main motorway into Paris from the north, well, from the west, sorry. There's a tunnel that goes under Saint-Cloud, which you know because you've stayed there, and there's been a pipe burst and a crack. So they've shut that motorway trying to fix it. It's just falling apart right ahead of the whole world watching.
Hopefully it hasn't flooded the racecourse there.
No.
Yeah.
It's not directly under the racecourse, but it goes under Saint-Cloud, which is where the racecourse is.
Yeah. So that makes for a great story. The Moulin Rouge can was so intense last night, the windmill fell off.
You've only got to blown the bloody windmill off, Harold.
Oh dear. And Meg was dancing?
She was, yeah.
Okay. Good. All right, moving on.
Oh, she wasn't. What am I talking about?
Okay.
She's on holiday.
That was last night. Who remembers last night?
Yeah, indeed. Manic 24 hours. But,
Of course, yeah, because you were 17 hours in and out of London yesterday.
Indeed, yeah. And again, the sort of 2.5 hours of those was just me trying to get from the airport, Charles de Gaulle, back to my place. Again, because they're doing all the work, there's a lot of train stations, metro stations that are closed. So it was all over the world. But anyway, yeah, for the Olympics.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it Olympics this year and Euros next year?
That's a good question, actually. What are we, 2024? I think the Euros are this year, no?
I think they might be this year. Yeah. Anyway, whilst you're checking that, Jensen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi all. If you don't know who I am already, that's going to be a little bit worrying. But I'm Jensen Abbott, BDR at Content.ai. Really excited to be here. Felt a little bit low of energy this morning, but now that we're on the call, it seems like you guys are picking my energy back up.
Yeah. The future of complex sales with AI. That's what it is.
Exciting.
Big energy boost.
Yeah. Because you're both technically in complex sales when we think about what you're both selling. I mean, all three of us are, but I think I'd like to kind of focus on both of you really and get your point of view on this topic, because you really are at the coalface in terms of, you know, creating new relationships, nurturing existing relationships, trying to develop trust with your buyers, with your existing customers as well, Jordan, because you have this kind of all-round role. Well, you both have an all-round role. Why don't you talk a little bit about your roles first to help give our viewers some context, and then let's look at AI through the lens of trust development versus efficiency.
Yeah. So my title is business development manager, though the role is a full cycle sales role. So yeah, as you mentioned, it's generating opportunities and then managing those accounts. So before I go into it, gents, did you want to?
Well, you've also got the existing customers as well, some existing clients in your territory.
Yeah, indeed. So I will be inheriting some existing clients.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Jensen?
Yeah, hi. So BDR, just like Jordan, really. But so my title is business development representative, but also currently managing accounts with a certain deal size. So anything that falls under that amount, obviously, I can manage the whole deal. Anything over, I pass over to a AE or a sales director. So yeah, really kind of starting to get my teeth in with hopefully room to blossom into something bigger and better later this year.
Indeed. And if we didn't need any motivation, there we go from Mum.
Have you all seen the video of the police officer where someone actually puts it? They put the more energy, more passion, more footwork. And her tire went flat, so she's there pumping it up with her leg, and someone's playing it in the background, but it falls perfectly. And it's a real cracker. Real cracker.
Lovely, cool. Good. Anyone fancy singing it?
I'll pass. I made the sales team that I was speaking to yesterday suffer enough by playing them a video of my terrible singing. So I think that's enough torture from me this week.
Okay. Right, Jordan, back to you then. So how are you using AI, and maybe give us an example or two that sits
peer pressure, Stephen.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, go on. What were you going to say?
No, go on.
I'm going
to do it, or Jensen's going to do it.
So the way that I'm currently using AI is to drive efficiency throughout my content creation and repurposing process. So I host a podcast, typically about 15 minutes long. I'll then take the audio, put that through Adobe Enhanced Speech, which is an AI post-production tool, which basically makes the audio sound as if it was recorded in a studio. Absolutely great tool. My office is very echoey, so it comes in really handy. Once I've done that, I will marry the audio with the visual, and then put that file through Opus Clip, which will create various clips of that 15-minute video. So it saves me hours.
And you're when I think about a traditional sales process, actually, I'm going to eat those words. Let me rewind. Because the thought of a traditional sales process is quite cringeworthy these days, given how much the buyer has changed.
Yeah.
But when I think about primary roles at different stages within a typical sales process, at the beginning, we're looking to connect, right? So how do we build rapport, connect with someone new for the first time? In the middle, we've got this kind of differentiation. So how do we differentiate both ourselves and the solution in which we might be proposing, or the solution options in which we might be proposing? And then finally, it's about building consensus, really. often that's done behind closed doors. So we have to think creatively about how we do that. And so, you know, the use of video helps that full spectrum, helps you achieve your objectives of, you know, building a connection, differentiating, building consensus. Maybe talk to that a little bit.
Yeah. So if we go sort of chronologically, I think that, well, we know that our buyers are being bombarded by text-based outreach, whether that is on socials or whether that's via email. I think what video allows you to do is cut through the noise, essentially, and be really authentic. Here goes the customary shift in places. Beautiful chairs.
We want to be like that.
So I think it enables you to cut through, which is really crucial. Show your personality, and it makes the buyer feel like you've invested the time and the effort to create that video. So it sort of breeds a better experience, I think. And then throughout the sales cycle, we know that there are more and more decision makers being included in buying groups to mitigate that risk. Now, video is the most shareable form of content. It's 52% more likely to be shared. That's HubSpot that found that. So when we're thinking about trying to build consensus across the entire decision-making group, why not share a video? Because it's more likely to be shared, and two, it's a really concise way of explaining and helping to further that education. You can get ahead of any potential objections. You can answer some of the FAQs maybe ahead of time in a really concise way. And you know, demos. Let's say certain people couldn't make that demo. Why not create a really concise version of it that can just be shared across the entire group? Contract reviews, break things down.
So many use cases. The video as a form of content creation really bolsters any social selling strategy that our viewers might be thinking about. Now, your example sits in my mind firmly within, well, it kind of straddles both of the camps, both lenses. It sits firmly within the efficiency bucket. So it's saving you a ton of time. It's actually improving the quality of your output, but also it's helping you develop trust with your audience because they're seeing you, the real you, the genuine, authentic you. And, but where, you know, there are many AI tools that are popping up every week now. I think I see at least 2 or 3
every day
each week. Yeah, not to mention the ones that I don't see or don't hit my radar. But I feel like there's this quite intense focus on creating AIs that actually do jobs for salespeople, and potentially taking salespeople away from the one thing that they really should be focusing on, which is thinking about how to develop trust and meaningful relationships. And with that in mind, where do you think AI is going? Are we headed in the right direction? Are we headed in the wrong direction? Do we need to pivot? Jensen, we haven't heard from you. What are your thoughts on that?
Great question. Great question. Are we heading in the right direction?
I mean, I saw a lovely quote. Maybe this helps.
Yeah.
I saw a lovely quote pop up on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. And I forget the name of the lady. I'll have to pull it up before the end and credit her because it was brilliant. She was basically talking about AI and questioning whether we're going in the right direction, because for her, she loves being creative. She loves drawing, creating art, designing things visually. And she was like, I don't want AI to create my pictures and videos and, you know, visual stuff. I want AI to do my dishes.
Yeah,
my
I saw
laundry.
that.
So I've got the time to do the stuff I love.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's funny you said that quote, because as you're asking me the question, that exact same quote came into my head. Now, I think it depends. I think there's tools out there that kind of are there to do those sales tasks for you, which, like you said, it ruins credibility. It's people tend to kind of realize, and also I think it's damaging the salesperson overall, because it's making them lazy. It's not making them think. It's not making them get creative themselves. It's not making them think outside the box. So you're almost falling down that same rabbit hole of, oh, I'm going to keep doing this, using this AI automation because it's going to get me somewhere. And it's a bit like cold calls and emails, right? You keep doing it. And actually, I'm going to pause there to add that quote that we mentioned, or we spoke about it the other day. It's is it sane or something? The definition of that word. It's like you expected insanity. That was it.
Yeah.
It's like doing the same thing.
Yeah, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Yeah. And it literally is that, right? It's like, I'm going to keep doing this, not really change anything, and expect to see something different, when actually it's
I think you're talking, just to be specific there, I think what you're talking about is the tasks that aren't working. So what's coming to mind when I'm hearing you talk is sending emails, poring over emails and writing emails and sending emails that don't get opened, and using AI to write those emails that don't get opened. Is that what you're
to write the emails, the automation of the emails, the automation of the cadences, right? It's very robotic and time and date sensitive and specific date and time. Now, if you're trying to be genuine and you've got something interesting to say to someone, it's not going to be a specific date or time. It's, do you know what I mean? You're going to position it in a way as, hey, look, I found this very interesting. Didn't know if it'd be interest to you. I think it's people are trying to build that genuine relationship, but they're not making the link between specific AI tools and building genuine relationships.
I think that, or in my mind at least, the boundary that I've drawn or I've created is that anything customer facing you shouldn't rely on AI for. So things like updating the CRM, wouldn't it be great if all your notes from that call that you've just had automatically fed into the CRM so you didn't have to do that? It's probably possible with what Gong can do and an integration with Salesforce, HubSpot.
Yeah.
It's probably already possible.
Microsoft
yeah, write in a proposal. Those things, okay, maybe that's sort of customer facing. So perhaps customer
can already be done. Writing proposals. Yeah.
I think customer facing things, rather than relying on AI, we should leverage them to enhance. So when I say that, or enable us, so when I say that, like repurposing content, stuff we've already created, or a coach, an AI coach that maybe reviews the way that you're communicating, and maybe puts a prompt rather than writing it for you. Maybe it surfaces something on their profile that they've recently engaged with a piece of content. Why not mention this? So I think that's the line I'm drawing in my mind. Anything that's not customer facing, why not try and leverage or offload that to AI wherever possible? But anything that is customer facing, there's got to be some boundaries. It's got to be you. It's got to be authentic. It's got to be you that's building that relationship. But if you can leverage some AI tools to enhance that.
I think I agree, and it's not coming through. But Gideon just made a comment saying insightful. So thank you, Gideon. Yeah, I think I agree. In terms of where we are now, I feel like that's the immediate direction we need to go. It needs to uplift salespeople. AI needs to be uplifting for salespeople and doing those tasks that actually are not doing the relationship building for us, but they're doing all of the admin in the back office that then allows us to have more time to do the high value activities like building human to human relationships.
Mm.
Isn't the admin why we get into sales? Is that not one of your favourite things? No.
Another reason why you got into it.
Am I the weird bad person?
Yeah. You know, there's a lot that can be learned from learning how to write an RFP, for example. I have to say I did learn a lot. So years ago when I was kind of forced to do it, someone that left school at 16, learning grammar, business grammar, business language. For me, that was a huge benefit. But not, perhaps the same doesn't apply for everyone in the world because they learn those skills at school. But I think certainly when I think about what AI can do to aid salespeople, and again, I think as long as it's not just done it for you and then it's ta-da, there you go, send it off. And it's more of a relationship that the salesperson has with the AI, so that they're helping the AI develop something that is of high quality, that is customer facing, and it feels like they're sort of an intertwined part of creating it. Look, we're over. We're over 20 minutes. Are there any final thoughts before Jensen sings us out?
No, Jordan, sing us out.
More energy, more footwork.
No, I mean, I think Microsoft missed a trick by calling their AI Copilot and not just bringing back Clippy. I would have loved to see.
Oh my God, how annoying was that, though? How annoying was that, though?
Yeah, it was.
Can you two even remember it? Or
yeah, I do very vaguely, but I do remember it popping up in the bottom right hand of the screen.
Yeah.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
It was like an AI assistant before AI assistants. It would pop up and make suggestions.
You'll be in Word, Jensen. It'd be like tap 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 on the screen. Hey, do you need some help with this? And it would just be annoying.
Yeah, can you do it for me? Like,
Anyway, cool. On that note, then let's wrap it up. So thank you both for an insightful session. Really enjoyable discussion. It's the kind of discussion that I think could go on for hours if we wanted it to.
Yeah.
We are going to continue this topic of AI in sales in series 3. Watch this space for what the next title will be. We're also going to invite experts in B2B sales to get their opinion, get their view on the future of AI in sales, but not just in sales as we've been talking about today, but in sales in terms of a B2B go-to-market strategy, in sales in terms of customer success and the impact of AI for customer success teams. So look out for the next episode. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend.